So this tutorial is designed to show you guys how to make and create a name tag in Adobe Illustrator. So we're going to be laser cutting our bits and pieces for our name tag. These are just one or two ways to create your name tag. Remember, this could be a luggage tag. Aiming for a luggage tag is a nice idea because I'll give you guys a little keyring at the end that you can put your name tag onto and attach it onto basically your school bag or anything at all, okay? A way to identify something. So first up, I'm just going to create a new document. Try and choose millimeters now. It just makes life easier a little bit later on. And go create. I'd say that's very important at this stage. Choose millimeters. Now, it doesn't really matter what size page you choose. As long as you got a white background like this, it's fine. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to do the example that I showed you guys at the start of the class. So I'm going to get around the rectangle here. And I'm going to do very basic name tag. Keep it in proportion. I don't want it to be long and skinny like this. I don't want it to be like this. Keep it in proportion. That looks good to me. Okay? Now, it's quite important that inside you got a stroke and you got a fill. I'm going to set my fill to no fill. So see that little red stroke here? I'm going to try my little feature. What was it? Oh, it works. Beautiful. Check out that. Option Command 8. There's this little zoom in feature. Looks very pro. Love it. Now, if you look at your rounded rectangle, what you can do is, I'll hit escape right now. Oh, let's see. I'll go over here. Click here. We're looking good. I can change the shape of my rectangle, my rounded rectangle, by clicking on this little corner here and rounding out the edges a little bit more if I like. You can only go so far because it's two radiuses coming together. So that looks good to me. Don't worry if you fall behind, guys, because this is just one example. I'm going to use my text tool. With my text tool, I'll just click in here. And I'm going to increase the font. It's just up here. I'll increase it like, I can scale this later, but something just so I can see. If I go Command plus, if I escape, click on that shape and go Command plus, it will zoom into what I'm working on. Now it's easier to see. So my name isn't Lorem Ipsum. So I'm going to change this to Patrick. Yes, teachers have first names.
What?
I know, mind-blowing. I'm going to drag this out here. If I hold the Shift key, check it out. I could have Patrick like this if I wanted. If like my design aesthetics felt like, you know, I want it to look like this. However, I want to keep it in proportion right now. So I'll hold down Shift, and that will allow me to make sure it's still in proportion. Now, if you look here, this is not centered in my name tag. There's a nice little trick you can use. You can use the Align tool. Or I'll keep it simple. I won't show you the Align tool right now. We'll keep this very simple. I'll just click here and I'll drag it to the center. That's pretty good. Oh, I'm tempted. I'm going to show you the Align tool. Window, Align. You can click on the two shapes. Hold down Shift, select the two shapes, and align in this direction, and align here. Beautiful. Now it's perfectly aligned. I can laser cut this right now. Once I choose my size, we don't have to scale it up yet. At the very, very end, I'll put a little hole in the corner for the key tag. I don't want to do that because I may scale this up or down, and the hole needs to be an exact size. Okay? So, what I need to do next is the laser cutter cannot see the text that's on the screen. We can see it, but the laser cutter can't see it. So I will right click on here. I'll select my text first. Right click. Command Z. Here we go. Right click and go Create Outlines. If you go to View and Outline, this is what you need to see for the laser cutter to be able to laser cut this. Go back, preview, we're looking good. So, everything here is all good to be laser cut. sometimes you can join the letters together, but in this case it's not beneficial to join the letters together and push them all into each other. The one thing we need to do is we need to bridge. Remember in the example I showed you here on the other page, everything was pushed together, but we'll have issues bridging inside here in between the T and the R. So in this design, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave all the letters spaced out. But we do need to bridge in the P, A, and actually that's all. So to bridge, what you want to do is just draw a little rectangle. I'll just go for a standard rectangle. Put it on the screen here. There we go. Make sure I have a stroke and no fill. That is the standard setting for everything we do for laser cutting. And I'm going to move this into position. So, do yourselves a favor. Pull this into position. Whoop. Command Z is very handy. So pull this into position and check out the proportions. Now, does this bridge look good? I think it looks a little bit wide. If you go too narrow, check out the Tom name tag up here. Can everyone look up at this one I'm holding up? That name tag has got a really small bridge on the O, which is fine for plastic, but if that was plywood, it would probably snap really easily. So we want a happy medium on our bridge. So here we go. That's pretty good. Now, do yourselves a favor and copy paste this bridge all the way around. That means you'll have a uniform bridge throughout your model. So I'm going to click on here. And again, don't worry if you've fallen behind. It's all good. I'll move it into place first. Now, if I want to copy another shape exactly on top of this one, I'll go Command C and Command Shift V. I have two rectangles on top of each other right now. I'll just use my arrow key on the board to move it down. And now I have a bridge almost ready to go. I'll show you how we will bridge it at the very, very end. To make life easy, I'm just going to copy, select these two, Command C, Command V. Obviously it's Control on a Windows machine. I'm just going to drag these two into place. Ooh, I'll have to modify that top one a little bit. Pull this one down a little bit. There we go. Now, how do we bridge this? If you go into View and Outline, this is what we have. It's not perfect yet. So, you can see here that I have a Pathfinder tool opened. We need the Pathfinder tool next. I'm going to select everything here, my bridges and my letters. Actually, just Command A will just select everything. Or do a selection box around it all. And I'm going to hit the divide option over here. Now you guys won't have the Pathfinder tool open, so you go you go Window, Pathfinder. And once you click there, this little box will pop up. And once we do that, you just got to click this one here. If you hover over it, you'll find one that says divide. Okay? So click divide. And now we can sort out our bridges. What that has just done is any overlapping shape has just chopped the other shape in half. Okay? So all of those bridges have just chopped the P and the A into sections. This is where Illustrator gets super annoying for people who haven't used it very much before. You have to choose the direct selection tool, which is the white one here, rather than the selection tool, which is the black one. And with the white selection tool selected, you can zoom in, do a selection box inside here, inside the bridge. So see my selection box? And press delete. And I just pressed delete twice. Now that was pretty good because that actually deleted everything I needed in one go. So watch this again. I'm going to do this 4 times. Select, delete, delete, job done. Same over here. Select inside the bridge, delete, delete. And here we go. Delete, delete. Cool. Now we have a name tag ready to go. Is this the most exciting name tag in the world? No, but it is functional, it's uniform, it's balanced, everything is aligned, and we've got bridges in place, it's functional, it works. Once you know how to do a basic one, you can start getting a little bit crazy and design one that looks like the head of a cat. Shout out to you there, Evelyn. And or you can design one that looks like Jim Carrey in The Mask, or I don't know. You can design anything you want, okay? I'll show you how to do a more complex one later, all right? So, year 9s, we're not finished yet. Right now, I need to scale this up. A good size, Tom's one over here, was 70 millimeters wide. So, I like my proportions. I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to hit transform, window, transform, here it is, and this little transform box will pop up. You have to hit this little box here, see the little chain link? You have to click on the chain link to make sure the constraints are locked, and I'm going to change the width over here to 70. You can go a little bit bigger, nothing over 100 millimeters. 100 millimeters is probably the biggest you can go. It's up to you whether you want a large name tag or a smaller name tag. It's your call. If you're unsure about the size, use a ruler. Okay? How's your design going there, Jack? The lads look very entertained by your design there, Jack. Now, once I've scaled that up, I just use my ellipse tool. There's my ellipse tool. Draw any sort of ellipse over in the corner. It doesn't matter the shape. And in our transform box, we can go, I would go 5 millimeters by tab 5 millimeters. So I have to break my chain link and go 5 millimeters. And now we have a hole. That maybe looks a tiny bit big. It's up to us. Maybe what I could do at this stage is I could make it 4 millimeters. That's probably the smallest you can go. If you go smaller than 4 millimeters, you will find that your keyring won't fit in there. I think 4 will work, so we'll go with 4 for now. 4, tab 4, there we go. And you have something ready for laser cutting. The last thing you do if you want to laser cut is zoom out, make sure you got no weird things on the screen. For example, you don't have a silly shape sitting out here. Delete that. Zoom in. And we'll go File, Export, Export As, and we're exporting a DXF file. Don't worry about all the details, you'll be able to find them in the video. DXF file, I'll put it in your folder here, and go Export. Sorry? Well, the video hasn't been uploaded yet, so speaking of which, I will stop the recording and upload this to YouTube. Thank you for your attention, Daniel, plus the year 9. Just immortalised you on the video there, Daniel. Sorry? I just immortalised you on the YouTube video. Since you're in year 12, I thought